first episode of The Witching Hour, presented to you by Caufield's Novelty.
We are your hosts,
Luna,
and Lydia.
not our real names. And if you know us from TikTok,
Red.
and Purple.
Today we'll be reviewing Evil Dead Rise.
And if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Okay, so we got a soundboard, and we're loving it. The setup is going to progress as we go, obviously. We have some stuff from the shop and whatnot. So if you see something you like, go to Caufields.com. We'll be linking it down below. Shop small, people. Shop small.
If you guys didn't know, family-owned business open for 103 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. Our 103rd year this year. Hopefully it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Of course. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials.
So let's hop right into this movie review. We have everything categorized. So
we can start with plot.
Plot.
Which we rated it a 6.5 chainsaws out of 10.
Yeah. Sounds low. The movie was great, but the plot wasn't there for me.
It was actually packed, don't get me wrong, but there were some plot holes.
Yeah. What was the first one that we said?
So the rate of possession didn't really make entirely too much sense. Ellie, it was immediate, which I guess I can understand because, first one to be possessed.
Mm-hmm.
But then Bridget, hers was also pretty immediate. The only reason I can think of that is because Ellie spit on her.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody in the hallway. I mean, she ate a guy's eyeball.
Yeah.
And then he was chilling in the hallway for a good bit.
Yeah.
Until the very end of the movie, and everybody got up.
And it they all came back at once.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, and she didn't kill everybody at once, so it didn't make much sense.
I will say, that's my gun. that was good. That was good. That was one of my faves.
I was waiting for him to get up and be like, "You took my gun.
You took my gun." Yeah. No, it didn't make too much sense to me either, but I was just kind of riding it out. But I was like, that's something I caught too. I was like,
Interesting.
Because when Bridget got possessed, she she got scratched or whatever, and then she just runs to the kitchen. She's like, I'm fine. And then it's like, oh my God, no, she's not fine. She's actually on the counter eating glass, and it's poking through her throat. And now I'm closing my eyes in the movie theater because I'm cringing. What was the other? The other was how
he just so happened to get the vinyls that went with the Necronomicon.
So you're telling me you go down in that the Quake hole, and you just happen to see hundreds of vinyls, and you're like, I'm gonna take these couple right here, along with this book that I so happen to find. Seems a little sus. Yeah, that didn't make much sense to me either, because I was trying to there was a lot of Jesus paraphernalia down there. I was like, oh, you should probably get out of there. No, you stayed.
Who would grab something from that's obviously a tomb? See a book that's covered and be like,
why would you go down there?
I don't know.
You just dropped your pizza and what is even the scale of an earthquake?
It was the 5.5 quake.
5.5 Quaker, and you go down in the hole, and then Jesus Christ falls on you? Okay. Interesting.
Well, I would be so off-put by all, the crucifixes hanging down. Obviously they don't want something to get out.
He didn't listen. Danny was like, it's my one-way ticket to hell.
And he's like, it's my fault.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, are you saying it's my fault? No, it was the little girl's fault. No, it was the little sister.
Cassie.
Yeah, blame it on her. Other than that, though, I mean, it was pretty good. Plot was good. Really enjoyed the opening scene.
Yeah.
That was the scalping.
We'll get into more of that with the gore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
It was pretty good.
Okay. I guess we can move on to our next category.
Okay, character choice. Our next category, we rated 9 chainsaws out of 10. We know! Sounds pretty high. We know. But for good reason. Who was your favorite?
I liked Ellie and Beth the most.
Mhm.
Alyssa Sutherland, which is Ellie, she was actually a model at first,
Mhm.
and then she changed to horror movies, which she did a really good job. I think we're gonna keep an eye on her.
Yeah, no, I expect her to see her in way more stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just because the part was like she killed it. Like it
Yeah.
was so good. I mean, and I thought it was crazy. I mean, obviously, we can get more into this with the makeup effects and whatnot. But I mean, she looked totally different. Not only totally different, but she acted totally different. And
Mhm.
I feel like it's a strength for actresses to be able to like have a switch like
Yeah.
that. Because I mean, that's diversity right
Oh
there with your
yeah.
acting. You're gonna get hired a lot more.
Yeah. I didn't know she was a Brit. You would
Oh,
never be able to
oh my
tell.
gosh, no, I did not
No.
know. No, I did not know such a thing. Both of them.
Yeah.
I
They
was
both
like,
have accents.
I was like,
Not American ones.
mm, British.
British. But no, her scream in
Oh,
itself was dynamic. She was just whole round character was pretty well developed.
yeah,
I like the choice of the mother turning on her kids because that's not one you see usually. It's usually the mom fighting for her kids, not the
right.
mom turning on her kids. And they brought up a good point in an interview that we saw, about how it like kind of portrays realistic family homes in sort of a way,
Mhm.
um, of single moms
Yeah,
being left alone, not knowing what to do, just really
right.
struggling to provide for their kids, which I
Yeah,
thought was a really interesting thing to add into the beginning of a horror movie. But
yeah. Well, because it almost made you, which I guess you felt bad
yeah,
for them because they're in this building. It's about to get knocked down. They're gonna have to find a place to live, and it's like, hey kids, go out for this pizza, and boom, your mom's possessed. So now you don't feel bad for the mom, but you kind of do because she's like in the beginning of her possession, she's still kind of talking through, like she's still trying
yeah,
to get through to him.
yeah.
But then
Don't let them
it's,
take my babies.
that's like I think that was like the last thing she said as herself.
No, it was when she was talking through the phone
Oh,
to
that
Beth.
got me. I forgot about that. That 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 got me good.
And just the whole thing of Cassie and Ellie
Mhm.
um with Ellie being being locked outside of the apartment, and really again with the portrayal of like struggles that happen in real families of like Cassie thinking, "Oh, my dad is back. Like we're going to be a happy family again."
Yeah.
Because good choice. That's
Yeah.
what a kid is going to want. That's what
Yeah.
a kid is going to dream about. And
Then she got choked out.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm in the movie theater, like, don't open that door, don't unlock it. Don't. And oh, of course, she unlocks it. She went straight for the throat.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, poor girl.
Honestly, Cassie's me. Making a Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie's iconic.
Oh yeah.
Loved it.
A behead on a staff
Oh yeah.
with a like what? It was a glow stick taped
Yeah.
to the top of her head.
Yeah.
Icon.
Yeah. True icon. Cassie's an icon.
Which usually little kids are really stupid in horror movies.
Yes.
The brother in Terrifier 2 got on my nerves. He was like, what, 11, 12?
Yeah.
And he just sat there while his sister got beat to death. And he's like, what do I do?
Oh my gosh, I'm so lost.
But Cassie,
She
she,
pulled her big girl
yeah,
pants up.
she put that chipper into high gear.
Oh yeah, she did. And I felt so bad for her though, because she was like behind it with her ears covered. I was like, but you're so cool.
Yeah, and handing the scissors to Beth at the very right moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which, at the beginning of the movie, when she's like, Cassie, do you have my scissors? And she slid them under the bed. I was like, oh, those are definitely gonna be used later. Like I knew immediately. I was like, and it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
No, overall, I mean, Alyssa, she did a really good job. I really couldn't imagine anyone else having that role after seeing it
Yeah.
because I just feel like she embodied it so well.
Lily did a good job too, which
Mhm.
is Beth. Lily did great. Um, very much raw emotion. Enjoyed
Mhm.
it. Also, we love to see female rage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. New Ash.
Mm.
New Ash.
Saw that in an interview.
Mhm.
She kind of alluded to it, which I'm here to see it.
Hey, especially if it's gonna be the beginning of a trilogy,
Mhm.
I want to see her again and again and again. Especially, I mean, even outside of the Evil Dead franchise. I would love to see both of them more often.
Right.
But she killed it as like the
Mhm.
protagonist. Oh, well, my thing was is, you know, she's she finds out she's pregnant. She's not ready to have a kid, and then she goes to her sister to talk about it. But it ends up being like she's the mother figure for Cassie, and I
Mhm.
was like, it's a plot twist, but I like it. I like to see it.
I see it.
I almost thought for a second, I was like, maybe maybe Ellie's gonna snap out of it. But then I saw the wood chipper, and I was like, oh well.
Aw.
First I saw them fused together, and
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? And I was like, okay, well, maybe not.
Yeah. And the earthquake scene when the wood chipper's door flew open, I was like, that's probably gonna be used later.
Yeah. No, she killed it as Beth. I mean, it was great. Yeah.
Moving on to Bridget.
She was good. She was good.
She was good. She was good.
I enjoyed her role. I mean, I out of the three kids, I expected to be possessed. I guess was Danny for sure. I
Yeah.
was totally expecting that. I wasn't expecting Bridget. I thought she was gonna get away.
Right.
Um, she did great. I mean, she did good as a character. I
Yeah.
enjoyed her part.
Just her flying at Danny while covered in a quilt was so funny, and her just looming behind them. She looks like
It
she's
was
supposed to be a
so it was
ghost.
so goofy.
It
It
was.
looked like a costume we carry. I don't know. It looked so goofy. We were busting out laughing in the movie theater because it's just like she's just a little cover over her head.
But I enjoyed Cassie a lot.
Mm.
Danny, he annoyed
Yeah. Is it my fault? Oh
me.
my gosh,
Yeah.
it's all my fault. No, well, who else went down in the quake hole and grabbed the Necronomicon and then cut themselves on it?
And it was like, oh, I need to read this after Bridget was like, Danny, you put that away. And he was like, let me finish reading this first. Girl.
No. Back to Bridget really quick. It caught me off guard. Um, she's like, I'm fine, and it cuts to that scene of her like crouched on the counter and her neck is just up, and I was like, oh, what is she doing? And then she started swallowing the shards, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm cringing. Um,
Also, this is nitpicky. I have never met a person that keeps their eggs out, non refrigerated, on their kitchen counter. Couldn't be me.
yeah, no, a hot egg? Ugh, no, we don't do hot eggs in this house. I mean, the way she was making. Okay, my thing too, though, was just like, Mom, what's wrong? I mean, she's literally smashing eggs into the pan. Something's wrong. Don't. "Oh, what's wrong, Mom?" I was like, oh my god, y'all better run. Like, hello. No. Cassie did really good though. She was she was one of my favorites. And I normally
Yeah.
am, like you said earlier, I'm normally not a huge fan of kids in horror movies.
Yeah.
Just because it's always they have like the annoying trope of like being whiny and
Either that
or just being dumb, like completely like
yeah. Either that or they're used as like the main horror character.
yeah.
Like in Pet Cemetery, it was the kids.
Mhm.
So I thought that was really interesting. That was not any of the routes that were taken with Cassie. I enjoyed
Right.
that. So
Yeah. Overall, for the characters, that's why we chose 9 chainsaws out of 10.
really, really enjoyed Ellie and Beth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on to gore. We rated it 10 chainsaws out of 10.
We know that's high.
Yeah.
That's a biggin.
Oh yeah. Which this does not include makeup and stuff like that. Makeup and effects.
Solely based on the amount of gore. It's like if you'd compare it to Scream 6, this blows that out of the water for sure. And I guess
Hot take.
yeah, and I mean it talks to gore. I
Mhm.
mean Scream 6 was pretty gory. It
Oh,
it
yeah.
was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
But I think the elevator scene is what got me. I was
Oh.
like, This is doing it for me. Absolutely.
I'm not sure if you guys made the connection, but it was very, very reminiscent of the elevator scene in The Shining, like just the side by side.
Yeah.
Very, very similar. Um, which another Easter egg for you.
Mhm. Also, if you didn't know, speaking of the elevator scene, they used 6,500 liters of blood for the movie, and 6,000 of that was used for the elevator scene alone, which is believable.
Oh yeah.
They were
Um.
drowning.
Oh yeah. And Lily, she had gotten an ear infection from how much blood had gotten into her ears. Um, she had to unstick her eyelids
Mm,
and unstick her arms, her legs throughout the day. Spray some water on to unstick herself. Um, which there's some videos floating around of her dancing and covered in blood.
mhm.
She looked like she was having fun. Um, but I know they both enjoyed, um, like having like the grime and the dirt and like washing everything off at the end of the day. I know they expressed that as well. Made them
Yeah.
feel more rewarding.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
Melissa said it made her feel like she was rewarding herself when she had a nice ice cold beer at the end of the day.
I was like, okay. Okay. Um, if you want gore in a movie, I feel like this is going to be your cup of tea. If you're looking for gore and gore alone, this is going to do it for you.
It
I
wasn't
mean,
wasn't a whole lot, but
yeah.
it was a good amount.
It was it was a lot in a short time,
Yeah.
I guess I should say. I mean, but it's like the kills or even like they were just gruesome. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like a stupid amount of like stabbing or like shootings or whatever, but the scalping,
That would so
mm,
good.
that was great.
Waiting for it to come, knew it was coming, but was still surprised.
What's another good one?
The arms and legs, was it just
Oof.
arms or was it just legs of the kid that was eaten off and then his body flew in the hallway?
I think it was. Oh, was it just legs? I don't
Or was it
remember.
just arms?
Was it? There
Some
were
of
limbs
Yeah,
involved.
limbs were involved.
Mm.
I've never had a movie made me physically gag before. That was interesting. It was
Mhm.
new for me. I watched a lot of horror and gore movies that haven't really affected me very much. Like huge fan of Terrifier 2, tons of gore in that. Um, but for whatever reason, the eyeball being launched into someone's throat, couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I gagged and then I heard her gag next to me.
Yeah. Audibly, it was
Yeah.
loud. Cheese grater.
Mmm.
That one. It just made me go like, ow, 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 ow. Like, oh. Could you just imagine?
Like your
Oh,
skin, like up in the grates.
ugh. Creative though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're giving them props for creativity because that's what they said in the interview. I think it was Alyssa and Ellie or Alyssa and Lily. They had said that when they were in that mindset, they were looking around in the house like, okay, what else do I have to worry for? Like,
Yeah.
is my broomstick gonna like stab me in the stomach or like what's next? You never know.
Yeah. The broomstick, what was used to make Stephanie,
Yep.
and went through Bridget's head or mouth.
I loved that.
Yeah, that was really
Cause I was
good.
like, Stephanie's coming in handy.
Which, moving back to plot really quick, I didn't really understand like how much they could take because Bridget was able to get Stephanie lodged in her and
Yeah.
take it out herself
Right.
and was able to get stabbed and take it out. But Ellie, she got stabbed in the face and she was down. I didn't really understand that part.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah. That was interesting.
But the scene where they were all grabbing at Ellie's stomach to be able to, conjoin and be one happy family like she had said when she had
Mm.
first became possessed. Um, that was icky.
Yeah. No, it was icky. It was icky.
Which I will not lie, them being morphed together did make me giggle at how they were walking.
Oh, especially. Oh my god, it was hilarious. Cause I was like, I don't know. Like you just like it looked like something out of like I don't know Monsters Inc. or something.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, who thought of this? Like I know it's in the book, but
Yeah.
we could have executed that
Mm.
differently, or I don't know. Could have been like one body, like multiple limbs. No, they were like a
All
circle.
Yeah,
They
all
were
together.
they were blobbed.
All their heads together.
Yeah. I will say I do appreciate the comedic relief in the movie.
Oh, 100%. We'll mention some of our favorite scenes in the honorable mentions,
Yeah.
but comedic relief, the movie started off at 100. The comedic relief didn't necessarily take away from that. It
Mhm.
didn't make it go down from 100, but it definitely let you sit a little easier, take a
Mhm.
little breath.
Let me in! When she's outside of the door, when Ellie's outside of the door, I couldn't help it. She was just like, donk, donk, donk. And I was like, okay. Then she started, let me in!
Just the constant screaming.
Yeah.
Girl,
It
it's
made me
okay.
giggle.
I feel like she could have really bust down that door if she really wanted to.
Mhm.
She made people fly across the hallway,
And you can't,
and you can't get out of the door.
with a little lock on it, and a
Yeah.
little dresser.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I also liked eeny, meeny, money! No, that was good. I like that too. You have a favorite.
I do.
But, oh, do you want to save that?
We're gonna save it for honorable mentions.
She's
just
gonna
'cause
save that, yeah.
It's my favorite.
It's her fave.
It's been quoted at least 100 times since we've seen it. We saw it last time.
Yeah, we saw it last night. No, but I mean, Gore was great. I mean, it was really good. I feel like if you're going into it expecting it, then I feel like you'll definitely like get it. It, like I said, it's not like a crazy amount. Like the killings aren't like crazy amount, but it's like the way they happen. It's like they're really creative. So yeah.
Moving on to the next category.
Makeup and effects. This only gets 6 chainsaws out of 10. Now we're no makeup artists, but some of the stuff was just like,
What I feel like could have been better, again, I'm no expert, um, to any stretch of the imagination, but the Mr. Shotgun Man,
yeah.
he,
Mm-mm.
it just, I feel like it could have been done better.
A little goofy. A little too goofy, you know?
Uh,
Get my gun!
However, the eyes rolling back all the way, that was really well made.
Yeah, that was
really
good.
well done.
My only thing is when Bridget got possessed, what really got me was like the black was coming out of her tear ducts, but I feel like that would have filled her eyeballs. I feel like it would have took it to the next level if it like filled her eyeballs and they just her eyeballs turned black. I don't know. I feel like that could have really
Also,
pushed it up.
everyone in the movie leaked a lot. Like,
Oh.
so much fluid came out.
And it wasn't just blood.
No.
I'm like, what's this clear? It's just clear.
Yeah, all the vomit. It's just, it just kept going.
If you have emetophobia, plug the ears when you watch the movie. That's all I'm gonna say, because it happens.
And Bridget, she leaked a lot.
Yeah, because she got stabbed in the stomach first by Danny, right? Or was it Staffina that got her? Staffina?
Stephanie.
Staffany.
Yeah, she got her in the head, and then she leaked a lot.
All over the carpet. Gone.
Also, little nitpicky here, but they left people alone way too often in that movie. People were left alone way too often.
Why was Cassie left alone? Period.
Ever? Yeah.
At all.
Of course, she's gonna be like, "Oh, my mom is in trouble. Oh, my mom is sick."
But let me go in here and listen to this record real quick.
Yeah. Danny, you could have done better.
For shame.
Bridget, come on, girl. And then you all didn't hear Bridget, like any of
that? You didn't hear any of that. Okay. Interesting. But I mean, yeah. I mean, another thing that I thought looked a little goofy was the the mound of the family where they're all mounded together. It just looked goofy.
It did.
Like I said earlier, I feel like it could have had. I feel like one body with limbs or something. Like they were literally looked like a meatball.
Yeah, more like the book.
Yeah.
Illustration
Mm-hmm.
instead of all these heads together, which I.
I'm sorry, no neck. It was just head.
Heads.
Like there was this.
Yeah. But I did enjoy, but did also very confuse me, where she's just like her head is back, Ellie, and she's just laughing.
Yeah.
While they're tearing into her. Because at first I couldn't really tell what was going on.
Yeah.
I was like, the gore's cool, but what's happening
But
here?
what are y'all talking about? What's the joke? Um, yeah. Overall, 6 out of 10. Little goof.
Oh, go.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, we're no makeup artists, so what do we know? Um,
And I will say that the drone shot, I knew it was coming,
mhm.
just don't know when. The cuts on her face was pretty well made.
Yeah.
I loved the scalp.
Oh,
It was just clean,
so good.
so clean.
Um,
And I liked that. I really thought it was cool about the blood and the elevator scene being all practical effects instead of special effects.
the way Ellie looked, and that's another thing, is she act like most of the time when it's like a demonic entity or when you're possessed, it's just really demonic type movements, like it's super over exaggerated.
Mhm.
I felt like this was what made it so creepy is that it was such humanly done.
Yeah.
So like when she would like point or she would like look with her eyes, like it was very human, and
Yeah.
I felt like that just took it totally to the next level.
And even the crawling both Bridget
Mhm.
and Ellie did, it wasn't like super intricate, like no contortionist moves.
Right.
Like that was still very human for their how they crawled.
Yeah. But I felt like that's what like that got me because I was like there's both of their eyes too is like when she would look or she would like turn really quick in her head like sharp movements, but it wasn't like over like I know how she's gonna look when she turns around. Like no, I was surprised.
Yeah. Again with the characterization sorry. Characterization that Alyssa did, top notch.
Loved it, loved it, loved it. It was so good.
And I thought the boiling water and like being seeing underwater,
Oh
I felt like it was also kept you on edge more because you kind of expected something to be in the water.
yeah, yeah, it was so good.
After at least after the setup Beth had about her arm in the water, and she's like, oh my god! And
Yeah,
then the rubber ducky. I expected something to be in the water. There wasn't.
nothing. It was Jack. Nothing was in the water.
Okay, moving on to our next category.
Retention rate. 9 out of 10.
9 chainsaws out of 10.
9 chainsaws. Obviously, Evil Dead movies are shorter and to the point, which I've always really liked about them.
Yeah. No fluff.
No fluff, which some people were like, I absolutely hated it. I'm like, I wouldn't go as far as to say I hate it. I loved the movie. I thought it was
Yeah.
great.
I
Loved it. Some people just don't like the straight to the point, I guess. I don't know.
Not everyone likes just high intensity the whole time. Which the only reason this is a 9 out of
Mhm.
10 is there was a few scenes where I was like, it could have just picked up a little bit.
Yeah.
The chasing around the car,
Mhm.
I felt like, I mean, I understand what they were trying to do, and it was executed pretty well, but I feel like, I don't know, 5-10 seconds could be shaved off.
Yeah, well, because I was on the edge of my seat, and then I was still on the edge of my seat, and then I kind of sunk back into my chair, and I was like, okay, so this is gonna go on for a minute, and then I was like, oh, okay, cool. There we go. We're right back where we were. Yeah, around the car, I was like, okay, okay, okay. But there was another one that we had talked about earlier. What was it? Oh, mine, anyways, was the whole not the earthquake itself, but Danny going down into the hole. I was like,
He's in there.
he's in there.
He's
Okay, he's
still in
still in
there.
there. Yeah. And when he found the book, I was like, oh my god, come on, like we already know what's gonna happen. Even if you haven't seen any of the Evil Dead movies, like if you have seen any horror movie, you know what's gonna happen. Pick it up a little bit. That's how I felt. I
Yeah.
mean, nonetheless, it was great, but those were the only two that really stuck out to me.
Yeah. Again, it was at 100 from the jump.
Oh my god.
Like, especially that open
Oh,
scene. Oh, it was really good. I enjoyed that.
best I've seen in a while, I'd say
Yeah.
for opening.
And usually when movies do like one day earlier,
It's like it's down from there.
yeah, it doesn't do it for me, but it
But
worked in
and
this scenario.
it made sense
Yeah.
too. Most of the time it's like, oh, one day earlier, da da da, and it has like absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, by the way, here's a second movie with that first scene that we saw.
Yeah.
No. Um. Oh my god, it was so good. It just made so much sense to me, and I was a fan of the short length.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were nervous going into it. We were like, oh, it's an hour and a half. Oh, we're a little nervous. But it was so action packed that it felt longer than what it
Yeah.
was. So yeah.
As I looked at my phone, I was like, oh, it is almost over. Couldn't believe it.
Mm-mm. No. Yeah.
And we're gonna do our overall rating. Are you ready?
Here we go. 8.1 chainsaws out of 10.
That's a good grade. That's a good score. That's an 80%.
That's a B.
Yeah.
That's a B. That is good. I loved it. I mean, I went into it with high expectations, and pretty much every point that I had was filled. It was fulfilled.
Yeah.
I was happy with what I saw. Really good way to, because gonna reference Halloween here. Some of the movies, but you gotta love them. And I was kind of worried that that's what this was gonna be. Is like, I gotta love it, but no, it was great.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything that I was like Halloween Ends. Not the biggest fan. But I still watched it, and that's what I expected for this one. But I loved it. It was great.
I had high expectations. They were fulfilled. I enjoyed it.
Let me mention this. We brought a lot of snacks to the movie theater. Didn't need any of them. I didn't even take a drink. And let me tell you, that's serious if I don't sit there and take a drink. I did not sip one time from the straw. And not to mention, my sister calls me in the middle of the movie, and I'm like, and I get up to go talk to her, and I'm like, no, this scene looks too good. And it was a good scene, so I'm glad I didn't walk out.
Yeah, I had one Twizzler, and then it got to a gore scene. I was like, this seems too mushy for me to be eating right now.
Couldn't even eat the
popcorn. Then I
popcorn.
couldn't touch the Twizzlers again. So
Nope.
that was really fun.
Yeah.
I love Twizzlers.
Yeah. Good snack.
Couldn't even eat popcorn.
I mean, we had Kit Kats, Hershey's, Twizzlers, gummy bears, Hershey's. We had it all. Maybe possibly bought at the concession stand, maybe not. Maybe bought previous. We don't know, but I won't say how we do things around here. Yeah, 8.1. Loved it. Really excited to see if it's gonna be a trilogy. What's gonna happen with it? And I think it's gonna draw a lot of people back into
the Evil Dead movies.
The franchise itself. I see it being a big thing this year for Halloween though.
Oh yeah.
I see people wanting to be Ellie.
Yes.
Or even Beth.
And Beth could be something very easy to put together.
Oh
and
yeah.
If you guys need a costume, you know where to go.
Yeah. Us.
Caufield.com.
We get new shipments in pretty frequently, considering that the season is nearing. So any of your costume needs, special effects especially, we have a makeup artist on staff, Trevor Thompson. Little shout out.
He's worked on many movies. The new Malin movie. Yeah, he worked on that.
Which he might make a little cameo here on the podcast. We don't know.
He's been in many movies. Worked on music videos, short films, everything. He's done it.
And his work is great. Yes, it's great.
So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, we have a Trevor.
We have a Trevor. And Trevor, if you're watching this, we love you.
But yeah, and we just got a whole bunch of new special effects makeup. So
airbrush makeup too.
Yes.
And it is fancy. I don't know how to use it, but I can tell you it looks pretty cool.
We got a bunch of new alcohol palettes. Pretty cool. Oh, the autopsy palette we just got would be perfect for recreating Ellie's look.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Looks so good. And we have many types of blood.
Also, speaking of Evil Dead merch, we should be getting posters restocked soon. When this video comes out, I'm sure we'll already have them. If not, soon after. And we have Evil Dead blankets in store, and you can call to purchase them because they're not available on our website. But
3 different versions.
Yeah. 3 different designs, and they are soft.
Uh
They
huh.
are good
And
looking.
double sided.
And what? Oh, double-sided. Yeah. We had to do a lighting change because it's getting a little spooky in
Yeah,
here.
it fit the mood.
It fit the mood. We're going to be talking about honorable mentions and our favorite scenes. Not necessarily best. Some are, but we'll start with your favorite scene.
My favorite scene. It is very, very like short. But it's my favorite. It's when Ellie's outside and like looking through the peephole at Cassie. She goes, "Open up now." That is my favorite. We're gonna play it right here for you.
Yeah.
Open up now.
Wasn't that the best thing you've ever seen?
I almost shed a tear. Open up now.
Open up now.
Um, my favorite scene, also pretty short. I guess a part of it is short. Um, the whole bathtub scene. I was like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, I knew it was coming. I just felt it. I felt it, and I think the mommy's with the maggots now. That was in the trailer.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, when she flew out of the bathtub and she was like clenching onto the walls, I was like, this is what I want to see.
Yeah.
This is a movie. No, it was so great. That was my favorite.
Oh yeah. It was. So there's just oh my gosh, another honorable mention. When she has her fingernail on the record while it's playing and her mouth is open
She's just
and she's quaking.
oh, loved that.
It was so funny. Another one of the comedic reliefs.
Mhm.
Also just her screaming.
Let me in. I was like, oh.
Also, I enjoyed. First of all, they might have alluded to a cat murder, but we didn't see a cat murder, which
Yeah.
I'm okay with because
Yeah.
I don't like when animals get hurt in films.
Yeah.
Not my thing.
Not really the way to go. I mean, there's enough
No.
people to kill,
Right.
you know. I thought it was funny when Beth was playing the vinyl. You know, she was facing the window, so her back was to the door, and Ellie had already gone up through the vents. And you know, the back is kind of blurred out, so if you didn't catch it the first time, make sure you're looking, because I caught it because I knew it was coming. Ellie crawls out of the vent, and the whole time I'm like, she's right there, but the way she crawls out is like, oh, okay. It just made me giggle.
There's a lot where it's like, right behind you. Yeah. There's a lot of times where it's like, you're so dumb. Just look behind you.
Oh my gosh, the blanket ghost. Oh my god, it was so good. And then she like flies across the room. I'm like,
Because when she is tied up and she's quaking, just the whole scene where Bridget's under the blanket.
her
is
dogs
so funny.
were out.
They were.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, one of my favorite scenes besides Open Up Now is when Beth picks up the chainsaw. We love to see it.
Loved it.
And fun fact, that was a real chainsaw. It was not a prop chainsaw. They did take the blade off, but
Obviously, yeah.
yeah,
They had to.
yeah, but it was a real chainsaw.
Mhm. I liked the wood chipper. I thought, and when Beth sawed through Ellie's head.
Mm-hmm.
Very reminiscent. I was like, you go.
You go, girl.
You go. No, it was great.
Again, with Cassie being a smart
Ugh.
little kid in that movie, and she was able to turn it on so Beth wouldn't get, in the wood chipper. It was a good smart move for her.
I thought at least her legs were gonna get it.
Right.
I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. You know, another thing is, I thought Cassie might have been a goner when they didn't make it under the grate.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I wouldn't have went back. I would have booked it. I'm so sorry. Love you, but I'd have been gone. I'd have been out of there.
And I think we saw kind of a shift in Beth with her like questioning if she wanted to have kids, and by the end of it, or her keep the baby. I think by the end of it, even though it was never like really confirmed, but I think she's gonna keep it.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought Ellie was gonna get the baby for a second because she was like
grabbing at her stomach.
2 souls. I was like, oh
I was like,
no.
is she gonna take it out right now?
I was like, oh, I'm kind of scared. No, didn't happen.
She got scissors in the face instead.
Fair trade.
Yeah.
And didn't die.
Right. Another honorable mention. Guess who made a cameo?
Bruce Campbell.
Mm-hmm. He was Marcus Littleton, the priest from 1923 in the vinyls. That was his voice. Which
I didn't catch.
no.
I did not catch that at all. It was good to have though.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were both like, maybe there'll be a little snippet, maybe a little side profile, and you're like, oh, that really sucks. But then we watched, I'll definitely have to go back and watch it again, just
Yeah.
because I like to watch movies multiple times,
Same.
obviously. But it was so cool because still involved.
I love to see all the Easter eggs. I also really enjoyed Alyssa's presence online throughout the entire process. She would post pretty often.
Yeah.
Her in makeup, and like her process and how like they like I don't remember. I think they did like heat packs on her face for some of the scenes. And she's just a really cool person. She seems like. I enjoyed all of her behind the scenes footage that she would post on her personal TikTok.
Oh yeah.
So if you weren't on her side of TikTok, I apologize.
You better get there.
Yeah, you should get there.
Better get there before it's too late. Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
Can't wait to see more from them.
Anything else you're excited for this year in terms of movies?
Definitely The Exorcist, 100%.
Absolutely. And let me just say this.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people who say you need to leave the original alone, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. I always say the original is the best.
Right.
Even if it's the most awful thing in the world, I'm still going to think it's the best because it's what started the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's The Exorcist, like that is such a good one right now to like give it a second movie or a third or whatever. I'm excited for that one.
Especially with some of the original cast. Like, come on.
Come on now.
I'm excited for The Nun too.
The Nun.
The Nun, even though
a little goofy.
Yeah, a little goofy. The plot was not all there.
It absolutely was not.
But it's just like one of those movies that it's quirky. You like it. So I'm excited to see if they're gonna take it seriously for the second one. We'll have to see.
One I could fall asleep to. I could fall asleep to that. Yeah. I feel like The Nun is so like she's like your not basic, but she's like textbook like horror, like nun, possessed, scary, like I like it. I'm excited.
Is there any movies that you don't want to see that's coming out this year?
Saw 10. Saw 10. And yes, I absolutely said it. No hate to the Saw franchise.
Actually, yeah.
All the hate. Love Billy. Cutest thing in the world. Let's put that movie to rest. It's time. It's time. Okay?
Would you guys like to see a Saw 10 review by two Saw haters?
Oh, cuz hey, we might be Saw lovers. Highly doubt it.
I will tell you the last Saw I've seen was Saw 7, and I watched 20 minutes of it and I turned it off.
I was like, no, I know this. I know this plot.
The original was good.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of them, no.
Not a fan.
It's just gore, no plot. And it's like Billy or, the mastermind. He sees you depressed. Sorry, I'm going to give you something to be depressed about. Oh, you're not happy with your life? I'm going to give you something to be upset about.
Like, okay, let's find another motive. Maybe target a happy person.
Yeah, one girl cheats on a guy and he's like, okay, I'm going to put the girl and the two guys she's cheating on in the middle of Times Square and have them saw each other in half. Like, what? Why? Why does that involve you? They're teenagers.
Yeah.
Sir,
don't you have a tricycle?
Yeah.
You should be riding that. Speaking of Saw, we do have some fun stuff being ordered. I'm excited about it. Maybe a Billy puppet. Maybe a Billy puppet on a tricycle.
Yeah.
We have Billy bags in stock on the website right now, Caufields.com. A little purse.
And ornaments.
And ornaments, yep.
Mini busts.
All the fixins.
A movie I don't want to see, I don't think I'm going to see, the new Winnie the Pooh movie.
Can't see it. No. 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 I don't want to ruin that for me.
Mm.
I heard it's gonna be sad. Like if you like Winnie the Pooh, I heard it's like.
We've seen the masks for them. Pretty impressive.
Oh, great mask, but creepy.
Yeah.
God, creepy.
Not in a good way.
No. And sometimes when I see a mask, I'm like. But I saw this one, I was like. No. Do we have a boo button on here? Because I would so use it. Boo.
Boo.
No, I did not.
And that about wraps it up for our categories.
If you like what you saw today here on the Witching Hour, make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to try to post the Witching Hour podcast episodes. We're going to try for once a month. It does get a little busy around the store, so we'll see what we can do. But yeah.
We're posting unboxing videos and tutorials here as well. So, get some longer content out for you guys.
Also, if you see anything behind us that catches your eye, posters, Terrifier figure, the occasional Funko Pop release that we have, make sure to check out our website, Caufields.com, the only website. And we will link all of our socials below. We also go live on TikTok pretty often. Not to mention, we do have a subscription service on there that saves you 15% off monthly.
Yeah, and as soon as you subscribe.
Yeah.
We also have a Discord. We do monthly movie nights and horror trivia nights. So if you think you're a horror movie buff, put your knowledge to the test. The winner also gets a prize. So, and we know that most of our subscribers are pretty competitive.
So if you want to get in on that, catch us on TikTok at Caufields. We'll link all of our socials down below. So yeah.
And
we'll see you next time on the Witching Hour.